This conference will now be recorded.
So here actually we are going to learn the Azure Data Engineer. Azure Data Engineering course actually we are going to learn. And this Azure training, so the Azure platform actually we are going to learn the Azure Data Factory. First I will tell you that one, that high level, so course content actually what we are going to learn so through that training. So Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Keyword, so Azure Logic Apps. So these are the main resources actually we are going to learn. And storage perspective, we are going to learn that Azure SQL, Azure Blob Storage, Azure Data Lake Storage. So these are the storages we are going to use while we are learning the data factory and database. And other resources. So the other data sources you may have it, external data sources you may have it in that your project. So if you are having your business data with a different environment or different storages now, so you have to access the data using that data factory or else the Databricks. So we are going to learn how we can connect with that our Azure Snaps. So Snaps is that our one of the Azure resource. So that our data warehousing purpose actually most of the project we are using that Azure Snaps. Suppose if your target is that your Azure Snaps environment now, you have to send the data into that your Snaps database table. So that one, how we can connect using that Azure Data Factory, we are going to learn it. And suppose if you are having that your data that on premises, if you are having that your business data now, how you can connect with that your on-premises data source using that Azure Data Factory. We are going to learn. And Snowflake, you may have that your data warehouse like that your cloud. So Snowflake environment. Suppose if you are having that Snowflake environment as one of the source or target environment, now how we can connect with that environment using that data factory. So we are going to see that connection and Cosmos DB and REST API. So like this, we may have the different storages. The different storages, if you're having, how you can connect with that environment using that Azure Data Factory. This is the one we are going to learn it. And finally, we are going to learn that one CI/CD, that CI/CD now, so that continuous integration and deployment. So the deployment, so you have to do it sometimes. Suppose the DevOps team is not available and that your development team only going to do that, the deployment from that one environment to another environment. Now, the CI/CD, you have to do it. The CI/CD for the deployment purpose from one environment to another environment. So that CI/CD actually we are going to learn. So all these things actually we are going to learn it. In between actually that for the Azure Databricks, for the Azure Databricks, so for the Azure Databricks, we should have some basic knowledge about the Python. So we are going to learn the Python And PySpark. So the PySpark is the language which we are going to use it for working with that our Databricks environment. So the PySpark actually we are going to use it when we are working with that Azure Databricks. So these two things we will use it when we are starting that Databricks. The total duration it will come like that around 50 hours. It will come 50 hours. It will come. So minimum 1 to 1.5 hours it will be the daily session. 1 to 1.5 hours per day. Okay. So this is the training plan. Fine. Now, so let's get into that one. So what is the role of this Azure Data Engineer? We are going to learn the Azure Data Engineering course. So if you are joining as an Azure Data Engineer now, what will be that your roles and responsibilities? Usually, data engineer, what they will do is simply I can say the data engineer, what they are doing now, they are migrating the data from one environment to another environment. So the migrating the data from the one environment to another environment. You may have that your business data, the different storages. So all the business data, finally what we have to do now, every business. So they will bring this all the business data into that one final storage environment. That storage environment it will be that your target environment. So that target environment, so usually, so we will keep that all the business data from wherever we can get it. That's not a problem. You may get that your business data from that your web application, from that your mobile application, from that your Excel storage data. So from different storages, you may have that your business data, but all these different storages data, finally we have to store it into that one target place. The target place usually it is called that your data warehouse environment. That data warehouse environment data, finally for what purpose we will use it now? We will use that data for that our business analysis purpose. The business analysis purpose we will use it. See, the using the data, we will generate that our business reports, dashboards, all the things we will use it. So that one it will be helpful for analyzing your business. That analysis will help to grow your business. This is the flow usually following the every business. See here, the data engineer, what they're going to do now, until that loading the data into that your final target environment, that data warehouse environment. The data loading will take the responsibility by the data engineers. That dashboard development or analyzing the data, it will take care by that or data analyst or the BA development team. The data engineer, so they are going to migrate the data from one environment to another environment or one storage to another storage. While they are migrating the data, actually, they will not load the data as it is. They will not do that copy paste as it is. Because our business data, it will be that raw data. Raw data, na, we cannot expect all the data in the proper expected format. The proper structured data we cannot expect. So different structured data, we may get it from that your source. So the business data directly you are getting from that your web application or from that your search engine, from that your mobile application. So the different devices they may use it, different application you may have it for your business. From that different application, you will get that business data. That business data we cannot expect in the proper structured data. It will be the raw data. raw data, it will be that some unstructured format or structured format. Some data might be structured. So all the data, what we have to do now, finally, we have to store it into that our target environment. That target environment, it should be in the proper structured format. That is very important. Then only that analyst team, the business analyst team, that our so BI team or the data analyst team, they can analyze the data. So that unstructured data, the raw data, we are going to change it into that proper clean format, structured data. These things actually, so who will do it now? Data engineer will do it, right? See, we'll take that small example. See here, I'm going to have that one data source. This is my one data source. And this is my another data source. Imagine like this, I'm having multiple data sources. Okay, so this data source, so I'm having my business data. For example, we may consider this is your Excel data. You may consider your Excel data. So, so this one, it may be that your database data. So here database now, inside of the database, you will have that your table. You have that your table. Okay. So as per the business instruction or requirement, what you have to do now, the whole final data, we have to store it into that your data warehouse. The data warehouse, you have to do it. So you have to store it into that your data warehouse environment. The data warehouse will have that. So that tables, it will have it. The table, it may be that based on that your business. So you may create the different number of tables and different structures, the column structures. But every table will have that some proper structure. See here, actual business data, the source data, I'm having the different storages like my Excel database. So like this, I'm having and different on-premises database or that cloud database, anything you may have it. But all this data, finally, I want to store it into that my data warehouse table. This is my requirement. Every project will have this type of flow only. So here, so the final data, I want to store it here. So this is my table. So this is my final table. So here I want to bring the data. So if you want to bring the data from one source environment to on target now, that data, how you can bring it? So you need some technology support, right? Usually, so the data engineers, what they are using now, the ETL technology they are using to move the data from one environment to another environment. ETL technology they are using. Okay, ETL technology, so they are using for moving the data from one environment to another environment. That ETL, we are having different tools for the ETL purpose. So here, I will mention some of the ETL tools. See here, I don't know how many people heard about Informatica. The Informatica, so Informatica Power Center. Informatica is one of the ETL tool. SSIS is one of the ETL tool. So data stage is one of the ETL tool. So like this, we are having different ETL tools in the current market, but these all are on-premises ETL tool. On-premises ETL tool. The on-premises now, so within your server environment, your LAN environment, so you may have it. So your business source and target storage. So if that is on-premises now, you can use one of this technology for migrating that data. But nowadays, the companies they are using the cloud. The cloud storage is actually they are using. Your business data, you may have it, the target storage environment. This target storage environment, you may have it, the cloud. This data warehouse, you may have it, the cloud. This data warehouse, if you are having in the cloud now, this Informatica SSIS data stage actually do not help because these all are the on-premises too. Now actually they in Informatica they introduced the Informatica cloud. SSIS is on-premises tool. SSIS you cannot use it. But instead of that one, Microsoft introduced that Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is a cloud-based ETL tool. This ETL will help to connect with that your storage is either it is in the on-premises or cloud environment. So using this ETL, we can migrate the data. We can migrate the data. So this is ADF. ADF. Suppose if you're having your business data, the big data, huge volume data you're having now. So that time, maximum of the business scenarios, the transformation we are using Databricks, Azure Databricks. ADF you are using for only the moving data. Transformation we are using that Databricks. It depends upon the business data volumes. Okay. So here, Databricks we are using to deal with that with big data, the big data. So the transformation purpose, mostly we will use that our Databricks. What's the meaning of transformation? See, from one format to another format, we are going to change the data. That is a transformation. The changes, right? From one format to another format. That changes. So we are going to have it. Right? So this data, so how we are going to do that one? How we are going to do the changes? Say, simple scenario, I'll show you simple format of data. Imagine I'm having the data like this. I'm having the data like this. See, this is one cell. This is one cell. This cell having my business data. See here, my data, it's available like this one. See, a student named Siva. So his address, number 212. Okay. So prime state. Okay. Nipet, Hyderabad, Telangana. So like this, I'm having that student details. And this student entered the course Azure Data Engineering. See, I'm having the data like this. Okay. And his number is something. So 98765432110 like this. This is his contact number. I'm having the business data like this. If I'm having the business data like this now, actually, I'm having all the information, but this is not the correct format data. This data is called raw data. Why I'm telling that raw data now? Actually, this data, so it is not easy to handle for me. Why? Because now, for example, I want to take that one. All just imagine all the students in enquiries informations are available like this one. So I'm getting that information from that different location, Hyderabad, so Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai. So like this, I'm having that different location. I'm having that in enquiries, and for the different courses, I'm having the enquiries and different area name. Actually, I'm having city name. I'm having then the data, if I were having like this now, I cannot analyze this data. For example, I want to analyze from the Hyderabad how many people inquired for this course. From the Bangalore, how many people inquired for this course. So from the Chennai, how many people inquired for the course. So I want to understand from which area so course inquiries are high and which area the course inquiries are so low. Based on that one, I have to plan it for the marketing for my business. The data, how I can split it based on the city or the area or the course wise, which course I'm having that more inquiry. This data, if I'm having like this now, this is not a right format of the data. So, but we cannot expect the end user will give the data in the proper format. Okay, so we will get the raw data, but as a data engineer, we have to do it the data in the proper format, the proper structure. We have to do it. How we have to do it? See how I'm going to do that one now. See this data, I'm going to have it like this. I'm going to split one table. I'm going to create it. See here. So this single format data, I'm changing into this type of structure. See, this is going to have that my uh, door number, okay, and this is going to have that my name, or this is going to have that my address, state, and this is going to have that my area name. So this is going to have that my area name. This is going to have that my city name. This is going to have that my state name. And this is that one for that course. And this is that our mobile. See, so that number 12. So, and the name. So that state, that prime state, that location. So that Amipet and that city name, that state, the course, so that number, something. Okay. See, now actual data I have like this. So, but this data, if I'm having the same structure and if I'm storing into that my target in the same structure now, it will not helpful for me for the analysis purpose. So I want to clean the data and I want to change the data into the expected format, the proper structured format. I want to change it. So I have done it. This is called the transformation. Not only this, a lot of things, the changes what you're going to do based on that your business, it's called a transformation. So this is one of the changes. The actual data, it will come like that single format, single cell data, single data. That one we have to split it based on that your comma, the comma operator, something that standard structure they will follow it in the raw data. So here now what I'm doing now based on the comma, I'm splitting my data. This is called the transformation. So for this transformation purpose, so we can use that either the ADF also we can do it, ADF or Databricks, you can use it. But huge data, which will be helpful now, that our Databricks will helpful because the performance perspective. So the data factory will not support for the performance for the huge big data. So that is the reason. So for dealing with the big data, nowadays companies they are using the Databricks. So both we are going to learn. So this ADF and ADF, ADB, the Databricks, we are going to learn it. So this how we are going to connect. Actually, ETL tool, we said ETL tool, right? The ETL, what is the meaning of ETL? See, we may have that our business data, the different sources, right? So from the different source, using that your ETL tool, you have to connect and get the data, right? And then you have to do the changes. The changes you have to do it. After doing the changes, you have to load the data into that your target environment. See, the connecting and getting the data from the source is called extract. It's called extract, right? And doing that your changes based on that your business, doing that your changes is called transformation. It's called transformation, right? So after doing the changes, we are going to load the data. So load the data into that your target environment. So that is called load. So ETL. Extracting data from that your sources and doing the transformation based on that your business requirement. And finally, you are going to load the data into that your target environment, the data warehouse environment. So this is called ETL. This ETL, we are going to achieve it using that ADF and ADB. The ADF, not only the ETL tool, we can say that one ELT also. Load and the transformation. Load and the transformation. What is the meaning of load and transformation? ETL na transformation and load. Okay. Load and transformation. Why we need? See, nowadays actually, so companies they are having all the business existing business data. Most of the business, all the existing business, they are having the on-premises. The on-premises they are having. Okay. Now they are migrating their storage into the cloud. They are migrating the storages into the cloud, right? All the business data, raw data, directly they are getting into the on-premises or different cloud storages. So like this, they are having their business data. The business data, first, what we have to do now, we have to bring it into that from that on-premises environment to our cloud environment as it is. What you're having in the source as it is, you have to bring it into that your cloud environment. So you may have that your business that on-premises, right? That business data, you have to bring it into that your cloud environment first. As it is, you have to so bring it. Okay. So this data, so you have to bring it into the cloud environment. Actually, that cloud environment, the development actually, so what we are saying now, it's called that landing environment. It's called that landing environment. Okay. So the landing environment, this is going to be that your cloud environment. Actually, in the cloud, you will have that. So the every maximum of the projects, every project actually. So nowadays, what we are following now, we are following that Delta architecture. We are following Delta architecture. What is the Delta architecture? See, simply we will have that three layers. We will have that three layers. See, one, three layers, and everything is a storage only. One, two, and three. Actually, are having very less amount of spaces. That's what I'm drawing with small size. See here, three layers you will have it. Okay. So these three layers, usually it's called Delta architecture. Delta architecture. See, this is called bronze. This is called silver, and this one is called gold. These three levels layer will be there. Your business data, actual business data, you will get it. This type of data, you will get it. The on-premises environment. That data, you have to bring it into this landing environment. So then, almost same format. We will have it in that bronze. Some project we will have only that bronze instead of the landing. Instead of the landing, only we have bronze. Mostly bronze will have that as it is data. From that environment, see this type of this type of changes you have to do it, right? This type of changes you have to do it. So that changes where to where you will do it now. So that you bronze to silver, you will do it. And you may have your business related changes. So somewhat you have some for example, you have to add one extra column or you have to do some calculations. So something you have to do based on that your business. So that logics you have to write it, right? So that business related logics actually we will do it here. The silver to the gold. Okay. So this is the flow actually we are following. So here the data on premises to your cloud environment, you have to bring it first, right? That time we will say so ELT because after bringing the data into that our cloud environment, then only we are starting that our transformations, right? We are loading into that our cloud environment, then we are doing that our transformation. Finally, we are going to load again into that your warehouse environment. Okay, so this type of processing is called ELT, extract, load, and transformation. Okay, it depends upon that your business. You may have that ETL process or that ELT process. It depends upon that your process. Okay, so this is the activities that every data engineer actually they are doing. Either it is cloud environment or that your on-premise environment, that's not a problem. But the data engineer, what they are doing now, so they are doing so this type of things only. Actually, the high level we have taken everything. The real-time environment, actually, they will deal with that. The actual tools, the different logics based on that business. Okay, you may have the multiple sources data. So huge amount of data you will have it. All the things actually they will deal it in that your live environment. Okay, so this is the one actually we are going to learn, and our course actually. So that content actually, this is our course content. So that before the Azure Data Factory introduction part actually, so we will spend so 5 to 6 hours for that our Azure SQL DB. So that one actually it will help to understand that cloud environment, how we can work the Azure platform. Okay, so the 5 6 hours it will be there. So after that only we will start with that our Azure Data Factory and the Data Factory. So everything we are going to have it in that our live hands-on sessions only, and scenario also the live basis scenarios only we are going to have it. So finally, so we are going to learn that uh, Databricks. The Databricks actually, so Python first you will learn it. So after learning the Python, it will be that again the 5 to 6 hours. Then we will start with that our Databricks structure. So what is the Databricks flow? And then we will start with that how to use that PySpark in the Databricks. For the purpose, actually, we need that our community account, we can use it. So that Databricks, how we can create the community account and how we can use that notebooks. So the notebooks, how we can write that our slides, sorry, PySpark code. So all the things we are going to learn it here, right? So this is the content actually we are going to learn it, and so this is that our platform, the Azure platform. Here only we are going to create that our resources. So that resource creation, how to use that resources, the logics, everything. So that hands-on part. So I will show you in every session. So the same hands-on. So you can do it yourself. So, but for the practice purpose, you need that. So the same like Azure account, you have to create it. For creating that Azure account, we need that one credit card, one email, one mobile number, that credit card. So new credit card, if you are using once you are using na that free trial, it will be available for the 30 days. The 30 days actually, after the 30 days, what you have to do now, suppose if you are not interested to go with that your paid mode na, again you have to create that new account using that your new credit card. Suppose if you don't have that new credit card now, there is no option. You have to upgrade your subscription into that pay as you go. That pay as you go, so it will be chargeable whatever you are using. So that chargeable actually amount, it will be very less amount only. Even for me, actually, I'm taking the sessions for multiple batches. Even actually, I'm spending so only maximum 2,000 per month only I'm spending. But very rarely I'm spending that 2,000. Almost I'm spending that within the 1,000 one. So how I am managing that one now? So I will so create that resources for the every session, and I will delete it immediately after completing that every session. So in that way we can manage our cost actually. Okay, so two benefits are that you can manage that your cost as well as when you are creating that everything, every resources, every activities again and again. Na, so that learning perspective also. So you are getting that repeated action. So the learning perspective also it will be helpful. Cost wise also it will be helpful. So daily create it and delete it. So these all things when you have to do now after completing that your trial version, the trial period. Okay. So this is the things, but everything so going to be in that hands-on form. So the daily session is going to be in that so hands-on based on. Okay. Now actually I have explained all the things now. You may come from that different environment. Some people may be from non-IT, some people may be from just now completed a course, or some people may make be from any other development. Even if you're coming from IT, maybe that other development or testing environment. So that's the reason actually I'll explain from the very scratch level what is the Azure data or data engineer role. Okay, this is the data engineer role, and this is the things actually. So the every data engineer going to do that one, but we are going to do this thing using that our Azure platform, the Azure data engineer, what they are using frequently or mostly now. So these are the resources they are using. So these are the resources we are going to learn it how we can use these things for the Azure data engineer role. This is the one we are going to learn. Once you complete this training and if you are doing that practice properly now, so I can assure you, surely you will get that experience like this 2+ years experience, you will get it. So that 2+ years, if you are working in that live environment now, what knowledge you will get it, that knowledge actually you will get it from this training. But it's all depends upon that your time spending for the practice. So how many hours you are going to plan it for the hands-on that per day basis. So based on that one, you will get that knowledge. But content wise, I can assure you, so that 2+years, because every student actually they are trying after learning this course, they are trying the 2.5 years with a 2.5 years experience or 3 years experience in this Azure platform. So like that only they are preparing their resume and they are searching the job in that way only. So they are getting the job. So okay. So that but they all happen. So mm, the hands on how they are going to spend. Okay. So that's all about the demo. Suppose if you're having that any doubts or clarifications now, you can ask now. I stop the recording.